Hi, I'm Amalia, and in today's video we are doing an art challenge. So welcome back to my channel. If you are new, why not subscribe and join the gang if you like arty videos. So for today's video I'm doing an art challenge. As I've said and as you've seen from the title, I am going to make art every day for a week. I've never done an art challenge, at least not on my channel. I don't think I've done an art challenge full stop. I have two main goals for this challenge. The first one is to do art. I know that sounds a bit silly, but I really enjoy art and I want to be more confident in my painting skills and my drawing skills. I want to actually build those skills a bit. However, I do feel like I stop myself from doing that. I have this sort of feeling that I have to do everything perfect on my first try, and that is not correct and is actually quite a damaging thought. The second reason is to have fun, because I feel like I've been really stressed recently and I've quite often found myself not allowing myself to do things that I enjoy, which is sad and it's something that I want to work on. Hi everyone, I'm testing out doing voiceovers on my phone, so let me know what you think of the quality and all that. So back to the art challenge. For day one, I found this little art exercise on TikTok. It will of course be linked in the description and I would definitely recommend you try this one out. But basically you put a bunch of watercolours on the page. Once that is done, I start to look for shapes, and don't mind me filming a TikTok. I would definitely recommend you try this exercise if you are lacking inspiration or you're in a bit of an art block, or if you just want a small little challenge. It was so relaxing to do and I felt so good afterwards. I absolutely loved this. For day two, I thought I'd give gouache a go. I've never used gouache before. This was literally my first time ever. I've been saying that I want to use gouache for over a year, and my lovely friend got me some for Christmas, and I hate to admit it, but for 8 months I hadn't used them, and it's mainly because I didn't want to do something quick and I didn't really have time for art. I had my dissertation and everything, and then summer has been quite busy. Anyway, I'm gonna leave all these excuses. I finally got round to painting something, and I've never used gouache before, as I've already said, so I wanted to follow a tutorial. I will have the tutorial I followed linked below, as well as all the reference photos I've used and any other tutorials that I followed. But I created this night scene. I say I created, I copied this night scene from a tutorial. I really enjoyed using gouache. This is gonna sound weird, but it was a lot stickier than I thought it was going to be. But yeah, I really enjoyed playing around with these paints and would definitely recommend giving them a go if you're thinking about it. You might have seen this drawing at the start of day two clips. You can't even really call it a drawing, it was doodling. This is inspired by an artist. Her Instagram is just another Ada. I really like her style. I tried to give it a go, but my markers like bled a bit too much, so it was hard to have any control and it's a little bit messy, but I think it's really pretty. For day three, I've got a few things in mind. A few weeks ago now, I went to a painting class, and this is what we painted. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm not 100% happy with it. I felt a bit rushed, and so I feel like I could have done a bit of a better job. There's a couple of things that I messed up, so I'm gonna try and correct this. There's two things that I think that I want to correct. I don't want to go over it too much because I will ruin it, knowing me. So this is meant to be like a shadow on her body still, but it kind of looks like her body cuts off here. So I'm just going to add a bit of a highlight around here just to give her figure a bit more shape. And then the boobs, I'm going to correct like this line. I think it's too thick, and I also think that I should have left a gap here between the two rather than connect them, and I think that's the other mistake. And then finally I want to paint the sides of the canvas black, because yeah, I think it makes it look more completed. It's just a small detail, but yeah, I just want to finish that. And then for today, other than that, I thought that I would paint water scenes, so maybe like I'll do a sunset. I'm going to paint a sea turtle of some sort, which should be interesting because I've never painted a turtle or a tortoise before. So painting one is this sunset. Again, I followed a tutorial just because I'm not really confident in my skills, and I think the colours are so off, especially the yellow bit that turned out to be green. Yeah, I also think that my brushes were slightly too big for this project, and it caused the waves to be a little bit too big to look realistic, and I did struggle with making them look realistic, and in the end I just left it as it was, because I still think it looks pretty, but it's not quite the effect I was going for. But I am still quite happy with this. I think despite the fact that I don't like the colours I use for the sky, I do like my blending. So yeah, and overall it's not that bad. I just don't like that yellow green tone in the middle. I then decided to paint a jellyfish, and I'm using watercolour pens. My friend got me these for Christmas. Yep, the same beautiful friend that got me the gouache paints. She sorted me out last Christmas. The pens come with tutorials, and this was one of the tutorials, and I did change it up a little bit, added some extra details on my own, and then I decided to take up a challenge and paint a sea turtle. I don't know how I got through this, but again, I watched a YouTube tutorial for this. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna pretend that I somehow came up with all of these. The tutorial will be linked in the description. I really liked this tutorial because it was real time, and it was a full-on 2-hour tutorial, so it was really useful, and I somehow got through it. I didn't think that this would go as well as it did. This is possibly my favourite one so far. I put in so much more time compared to what I did with everything else so far, and I think it shows. I am actually happy with this. That doesn't happen very often. Please ignore everything that's going on in this clip. It's very chaotic. I've got such a mess behind me. I haven't prepared for this at all, and my hair's a mess and everything. My bed's squeaky and I can't move. But yeah, besides the point. So I just wanted to update you on what I've done the past couple of days because I haven't filmed. Day 4, I struggled with creativity. I think on day 3 I did too much art, and then I sort of burnt myself out, paired with the fact that I remembered that I actually have a job, and even though I work from home, I still need to get work done. Day 4 of the challenge, I was like, I need to get some work done. So I prioritised work over art, and then by the time I'd finished with work, I wasn't feeling creative at all. I didn't want the day to go by without me not creating anything. So I don't know if you can call it art, but I made some beaded necklaces, and then for day 5, a similar sort of scenario. I didn't really have time to sit down and do anything too detailed or too specific, so I decided to do one of those watercolour paintings like this one, and I started doing it. And the first thing I noticed was this little shape down here, which to me looked like a cat, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna make a cute cat out of that. It doesn't look like a cat anymore, but it's meant to be a cat. And then as I was going round, I noticed a bigger shape. I went over it in purple, but I started to notice this bigger shape that looked like a big cat catching some sort of bird. So for day 6, I decided to use a reference photo of a field and paint the photo, or at least try to, and it was okay. It didn't turn out that great, but that's not what this challenge is about. It wasn't about me doing really good art. It was about me doing art, and I had lots of fun. It was my second gouache painting, so again, I didn't have really high expectations for my skills. I started by putting down some base colours and started adding details as I went along. It didn't turn out great, but also not too bad. I think I could have done a bit of a better job with the plants, but I was getting really fed up, I'm not gonna lie. And just like that, it's day 7. I honestly don't know where the time went. This week went past so quickly. And for the last day, I wanted to paint something that would challenge me and that would make me uncomfortable, to be honest. You might recall earlier on in the video, I mentioned that I went to an art class, and in that art class, we painted a nude, and I really enjoyed the class, which surprised me because I feel so uncomfortable about nudity. I thought I wasn't going to enjoy it, but when I got there, everyone was really lovely and no one was being silly about it. I mean, there's nothing to be silly about. I'm literally a child and I just feel really uncomfortable, which is something that I want to overcome. I don't think painting a human body should make me uncomfortable, and that is why I painted this picture. I made the person in the painting blue, and that was because I wanted it to be a little bit more abstract, and I wanted to take away the sexual nature of a human body, because that isn't the point of the painting, or yeah, it's not what I was going for. I wanted to paint a human body, and that makes me uncomfortable, and I don't like that it makes me uncomfortable. So I wanted to take away from any sexual element, which might be what's causing me to feel uncomfortable in the first place, and I wanted to paint the body. And I still felt so uncomfortable, but I'm really proud of myself for doing this, and I really like how the painting turned out. Today was the last day of the challenge and I finished my last painting of the challenge, and I'm actually really happy with this one. I'm really proud of myself for actually going through and doing this one. So now we are done with the last day of this challenge. I thought I would go into a bit more of a discussion of the the challenge do a bit of a review and just do some reflecting on the past week. So the 2 reasons I did this challenge was to make art, experiment, actually do art and not just say, oh, I want to get more into art, oh, I want to practice art. This was my chance to actually practice, experiment with new styles, try out loads of different things, and I feel like I've done that. I am really happy and pleased with myself. I've done such a variety of things. And then the second aim was to have a bit of fun. I'm going to be honest, I feel a lot more relaxed and I feel a lot less mentally stressed and drained. I feel a lot more calm right now, and I do think art making helped with that. I am so pleased with the outcome of this challenge. It was a bit difficult in the middle. I have really enjoyed this challenge. I've had fun. It allowed me to forget about work for a bit. As you saw, I full on forgot that I had responsibilities and everything. I really enjoyed this challenge. Let me know if you did too and if you would like to see similar videos in the future. If you've watched the whole video and you're not bored of me, thank you so much. I am so blessed. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have a lovely day and I will see you in my next video very soon. Bye!